Hello, hello, hello. This is your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa, 914, which is County, New York. We are in the motherfucking house. We are in the motherfucking house. And as you can see what the title is, you see what the title is. It's open panel. Anyone can hit the link. But let me first start off saying thank you to my YouTube creators, my subscribers, my supporters. Thank you for coming over and visiting with this page. Anytime you want to come into the room, come into the room. Everyone is welcome over here. Yeah, this is your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa, 914, Westchester County, New York. We are in the motherfucking house. And I've been home for a little while. I've been home for a little while. And as some of you know, I went out to work around 1 o'clock this afternoon. 1 o'clock this afternoon, I reported to the job. We completed the job. We did a wonderful uh, job for the job. We worked with our co-workers and with the other people from the other company. Shout out to us. Shout out to us. But let's get into the video. Now today started out rough. Yes, it did. And I went to that job today, and I worked with a young lady. She has been with my company for a short period of time. She's been with my company for a short period of time. I met her maybe over a month ago. But before I met her, she, like myself, was homeless. We went into the shelter system down here in Charleston, South Carolina. We ended up moving off the streets and into our own apartments. She said a couple of months ago she was taking the trash out of her house. You know how people clean their house. She was taking trash out to take it to the dumpster area. She said two pit bulls was outside. They saw her. They ran after her. They attacked her. They bit her up. She cried out for help. No one came to help this woman. No one assisted her. No one called 911. She said after those pit bulls, those terrible dogs, bit into her leg on her calf area, and she showed me the picture. Oh Lord, that thing, that image, I can still see it now. And she said they would not stop attacking her and biting her and chewing her up until the blood spilled on the ground and they was licking the blood from off the ground. She said she had to find the strength to crawl away from them, go back into her apartment all the time in pain. She reached for her phone. She called 911. The police came. The ambulance came. When they took her to the hospital, they did whatever they could to save her leg. She's walking around on it now, but she doesn't walk as fast as she used to. And she said she stayed in that hospital for 2 months, recovering from the dog attack. See, a lot of the women, especially black women, we come from the North, we come from the Midwest, we come from California, we come from Texas, we come from wherever part of the United States, and some of us land in South Carolina. We land in South Carolina, and a lot of my homegirls have been raped, have been beaten, have gone through domestic violence, have been attacked. Some of them have been murdered. A lot of them have been missing for quite some time. Quite some time. Armando Black mentioned this epidemic that's going on in the Black community for quite some time. He started out a couple of years ago talking about this epidemic, talking about this problem. And it happens in the Black community a lot. I'm not saying it doesn't happen to white people. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it doesn't happen to Hispanic people or no other kind of people, but it seems to be more prevalent in the Black community. A lot of my sisters that come from the North and other places in the United States, if we come to the South, any place in the South, usually they get attacked, raped, beaten, victimized. I remember a few years ago, I was attacked not too long, not too far from where I live now. They mobbed me. They beat me. When the ambulance came, I stopped breathing. The heart stopped going. I went into a seizure. They had to cut my clothes off. They had to revive me. They took me to the hospital. When I woke up, I could not recognize my own fucking face. I could not recognize who I was. I had two black eyes. I was swollen. And a catheter was in my pussy hole, right where the urine flows out of. So I know what I'm talking about. One of my homegirls, me and her used to ride together all the time, hang together. We used to sleep together. We used to rent out the motel rooms together. I remember one particular day, some fucking clowns kidnapped her, took her, used her, abused her, threw her away. A lot of my homegirls are dead. A lot of them. And none of these women are from fucking South Carolina. None of them. Not one. And this is what this video is about. And I know ain't nobody brave enough to hit this fucking link. I know ain't nobody brave enough to even look at this video right now because they know what I'm saying is motherfucking true. They know what I'm saying is motherfucking true. Why does it happen to our women? Not saying it doesn't happen to any other class of women or any other race of women, but it happens more and more in the Black community. And the community that she and I live in, this is a very high crime rated neighborhood. The whole community is riddled with crime. This whole community is riddled by creeps and weirdos. Rapes be happening in this fucking area. Women be disappearing in this fucking area. Not saying it doesn't happen to a lot of South Carolina women, but it seems to be happening to a lot of the sisters that come from the North. This particular woman I'm talking about, I work with today. She is from Detroit, Michigan. Shout out to Detroit, Michigan. I met other women from Louisiana, New Jersey, Connecticut, different parts of the United States, and all of them complained. All of them said the same thing she said. And it's true. Nothing ever happened to me when I was living in New York. No kind of crimes like that had happened to me. Nobody ever jumped me. Nobody ever beat me until a pulp, and I wake up in a hospital with a catheter up inside me. That never happened to me in New York. It happened to me down here. I remember. And I looked at that woman today and I said, oh my God, she survived. She got a lot of strength. A lot of strength. A lot of our women, a lot of our sisters are very, very strong. And she was talking and laughing and having a great time with us on the job. Only thing she's looking for is to work part-time with that particular company we was with today. We was gathering up those newspapers. We was putting straps on. We was taking everything up and putting it on the pallets and shipping it out. Wrapping it up, shipping it out. We was doing our fucking job. Shout out to us. Shout out to my coworkers. I couldn't believe what she was telling me. And then she showed me the picture she took of her own leg. I looked at her leg, the leg that was injured, the leg that was wounded. That leg will never be the same again. They tried to repair it. They tried to fix it. It will never be the same. She will never be the same, even though she's trying to move past all that. That's what I'm talking about. The crime in the black community. Black on black crime. A few years ago, I received the call. I was living in New York. When I got the call, it was 10:30 at night. My youngest sister was calling me to tell me what had happened in Newport News, Virginia, to Sergeant Crystal Reagan and her children, my niece and my two nephews. Rest in peace. This bullshit that's going on in our communities need to fucking stop. Needs to fucking stop. It is what the fuck it is. And a lot of people gonna say, well, Ray, you complaining, Ray, you crying about it. No, I'm not crying and complaining about it, because if I was, I'd be screaming and hollering. I'm trying to stay as calm as I fucking can without the help of a fucking beer, without the help of a cigarette in my mouth right now, without the help of pain pills in my hand going down my fucking throat. I'm 50 years old. 50. Living in the South, I don't think that's possible for me for the next 10 years, 20 years. I don't want to retire down here. Who wants to retire in South Carolina? Fuck South Carolina. All these drop shot, no name, off brand, drag nasty motherfuckers running around here. These weirdos, these creeps, these fucking sex offenders. The police, they can't seem to do anything about it. And I don't want to say the wrong thing, but a lot of, we just celebrated Mother's Day not too long ago. A lot of you mothers is out there, you know that you're living in these dangerous neighborhoods. You know that your children is surrounded by violence. You know your children are surrounded by these gangs and drugs and all this other bullshit. You know they're surrounded by corruption. Instead of sending the child to play baseball and basketball and football, put those kids in a martial arts class. Let those kids learn something about self-defense. Teach them about different things on how to protect themselves. Because when I was living in New York and we used to get chased by those stray dogs, my father taught us, he said, when you see a dog and the dog is aggressive, do not run. You stand your fucking ground. You look that dog right in his fucking eye. And plenty of times, me and my brothers and sisters had to do that. But other people are not as lucky. See, even though I grew up in the fucking foster care system, I still had a mother and a father a father was present in the fucking home. And a lot of you bitches don't have the father in the home. You don't even let your children go visit the fucking father. Shout out to the fathers that's trying to see their children, trying to pay the child support, trying to be there for their families, even though they are not in the home. This is getting ridiculous. But let's talk about these women. And this is not the first time I'm hearing about this. Don't y'all, some of y'all remember when all of us were young and we used to see those children on the milk cartons, people that were missing? Did they ever find any of those children? Did they ever find any of those children? A lot of those kids got taken away. They got sex trafficked all over the United States. Some of them went out of the United States. You know what I'm saying is true. You know what I'm saying is true. They got a bunch of shit going on about organ harvesting. These things are happening. These things are real. And we gonna talk about it. We got one ghost watcher. We have plenty of other ghost watchers in the chat. Welcome to the chat. You don't have to say anything. I'll do all the talking tonight. I will be in the driver's seat. I will be here. And I'm going to talk about it because I see a lot of my sisters from the north coming to the south, trying to get a peace of mind from the violence, from the cities, the urban areas, trying to come to the south, establish themselves in the south. And what happens to them? What happens? A lot of them don't make it. A lot of those women that end up in those fucking streets and become homeless, they do not fucking make it. I made it. I made it out. A lot of my homegirls that I floated with are now dead. A lot of them. I can count on my hand the ones that floated with me. 4 of them are dead. 4. This didn't happen to me when I was in New York. Not one of my female friends in New York ever disappeared. Not one. I remember going to school at Mount Vernon, New York, and those kids were disappearing. Kids I didn't even know. And the principal used to get on the loudspeaker and say, for the children, those that was not being picked up by their parents or was not riding the bus, to walk home in fucking groups. And if you didn't walk in a group, God help you. Me and my friends, we used to walk in groups. If it was getting too dark, we would stop by each other's house. If they came to my house, my mother would get in her car and drive them home. Yes, she did. And she would call their parents before she even got in that goddamn car. The community needs to get more involved in what's going on in these fucking streets. And they need to start speaking up. Because what happened to my people in 2011, I ain't never gonna forget that. And I'm never gonna forgive that dude. He's sitting in prison right now. Right fucking now. And I hope somebody in there kills him. Rape and kill that nigga. Chop off his head. Send it to my address. That's how angry I am. And more of these women that's on these YouTube streets They need to start speaking up. There's only a few of you that are actually doing that. I can count on my hand how many women, how many YouTube creators in this sector talks about the crime that's going on in the communities. I can count on my hand. I'm not gonna shout them out. They know who they are. They know what truth they've been spitting. And I listen to him. I listen to all of them. All of them. If Cynthia G want to get up here and talk shit about black men all night, guess what? Shout out to Cynthia G. Cause she's hitting the nail where it need to go on some of these drag nasty black men. Yes. Yes. I don't agree with everything she does and everything she says, but some of the stuff that she be saying be right hitting on the point. It be hitting. And them dudes out there, they all know it. Yes. We had Tanya TKO not too long ago speaking about certain things. Carmen Kaboom not too long ago was speaking out. And there's other women on this app has been speaking out. Now we got some men in this sector that have been speaking out. Armando Black, he's been speaking out. He's been reporting about these women being missing. He's been reporting about what is going on in the world. Nobody else seems to fucking care. I don't mean no harm, but when a white woman disappears, oh, they look for that white woman all year round. They got posters about her. They got newspaper clippings about her. Oh, they got the police out there. They got the FBI out there. Oh, everyone is out there searching. But when something happens to a sister or a Hispanic woman or any other woman from another race, you don't hear nothing. Everybody is fucking silent. Where's Black Lives Matter now? Why ain't they marching about these women disappearing? Why ain't Al Sharpton out there marching? Jesse Jackson out there marching? Why isn't Farrakhan out there marching? No, they're not going to say anything because the more they keep their lips shut, the more money go into their fucking pockets. They worrying about the police killing black people. That's where their budget money is coming from. So fuck Al Sharpton. Fuck Jesse Jackson. Farrakhan, he ain't no better than neither one of them two dudes. Fuck him too. And I mean that. I mean that from the bottom of my fucking heart. I don't give a fuck what nobody gotta say. It's the truth. Motherfuckers ain't talking. You know it's true. When Lacey Peterson disappeared, they looked for her for a whole fucking year. But when something happens to a black woman, they don't look for them. They don't look for them. They don't even put it in the newspaper. You gotta hear about it on the fucking street. You know how many black women they found dead behind the DSS office right here in North Charleston? Do you know how many women they found dead in the woods under that underpass going downtown Charleston? You know how many women they found dead? You don't hear about it because they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about us at all. I give a fuck about us. Very few of us on this app give a fuck about us. It is what it is, so they say. But it ain't right. Didn't Whitney Houston say that in one of her songs? It's not fucking right. But when I remember when Whitney Houston was out there singing those beautiful songs, she was making money all over the place for different people. But when they got tired of hearing Whitney's voice, what did they do? They started reporting about she was a drug addict. She had a drug problem. She was going crazy. They started reporting about that. They never reported the good things that Whitney Houston did. How she gave money to different charities. How she donated money to the Nelson Mandela situation that was going on in South Africa. You ain't gonna hear nothing about that. The only thing you're gonna hear about is how high she used to get, how fucked up she used to get. Plenty other those white women in Hollywood and the music industry did the same thing Whitney Houston do, but you don't hear about it. You don't hear about it until they die, like Janis Joplin and Amy Winehouse. It is what the fuck it is. And let's call it like it is, the way it is. And that's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. Don't you know during slavery, they used to use black women as guinea pigs? That's why when you go to see a doctor to get your female body parts looked at, examined, whatever, they got their knowledge by the torture of black slave women. Even during Jim Crow times, they was giving black women hysterectomies, taking away their ability to have children. They did it to Fannie Lou Hamer. Everybody forgot about Fannie Lou Hamer. She was an activist during the 60s. She talked about how the police and everybody harassed her about the fact that she went down there. She had the nerve to go down there to register to vote. She had the nerve to go out there and try to get other black people to register to fucking vote. You know how many attempts on her life was made on that woman? Then finally one day she got sick and had to go to the hospital. And you know what they did? They took out her uterus and her fallopian tubes without her permission. They sterilized Fannie Lou Hamer. Sis Rabbit got a wrench. He ain't gonna talk about that. He's so busy talking about ears to the street and what Skinny and them are over there doing. He's supposed to be the Rabbit King. He's supposed to be so knowledgeable. He's not gonna say nothing. He's gonna keep his fucking mouth shut. Cause he's unaware. He's an ignorant motherfucker. Only knowledge he got come from them fucking books he be reading. And he can't read every fucking book. He's not a fucking library. He's not the Library of Congress. He's one man. And that one man does not represent me. At all. Period. Period. Then we got Kwame Brown over there making all that foolish noise. He knows what's going on with the industry. He has yet to say anything evil about the industry he came from, the industry he worked on. He worked for them for 13 years. He's getting ready to get his retirement money. He has not said anything. He wants to talk down to black women, but he has not said anything about what's going on. Fuck Kwame Brown. Piece of shit nigga. You clown motherfucker. Fuck you. We got Skinny over there. He run his mouth. Talking the same trash he been talking for over 2 years since I've been knowing him. I had to stop watching him. I had to stop listening to him. Especially after he came after brown skinned lady. I did not enjoy that at all. Fuck Skinny. Do you hear super notification talking about what's going on in the black neighborhood to these black women? How black women are being attacked and being kidnapped and murdered? No, you don't hear nothing. She's up there reporting news that you cannot use. You dumbass bitch. Then we got the death coach over there. She thinks she know every fucking thing. That bitch don't say nothing. All that shit that's going on in Texas, now she live in Texas, why don't she report on that? She don't do shit. She's here for the fuck shit. So fuck her too. Only very few women on this app is talking any real shit. Any real shit. Now, I'm not going to be up here too long, but I just had to get that out. We had a few people come in and watching. That's fine. Catch the playback. I'm not pressed. I ain't never going to be pressed, but I'm going to talk the truth. Yeah, I talk my little bullshit, but I know where it's coming from. I know which place it's coming from. And I don't deny who I am and what I think and what I feel. I might talk bullshit today, tomorrow, next week, but when it's time to talk about these real subjects, these real conversation pieces, I know I'm standing by myself sometime. I know I'm standing by myself sometime. It's not that I'm standing by myself because people are afraid or people don't want to say what they got to say. Maybe they're just listening. On subjects like this, there is no more listening. Let's talk. Maybe the talk will bring action. Because when I was living in New York, every sex offender we found out about, oh, we used to harass them. Oh, they had no peace. No peace. No justice, no peace. We harassed the fuck out of them. We posted their pictures everywhere. If they was on a bus somewhere, we chased them off the bus. If they was on a subway somewhere and we knew who they were, we chased them away. If we knew where they lived, trust me, a bunch of us was out there trying to chase these people out of the fucking neighborhood. So don't tell me I stay silent. I opened my goddamn mouth. And one of the people that was posting some of those pictures and posters is very closely related to me. And you know why she did it? Because she had children and she was a victim of that kind of bullshit that goes on in the black community. A lot of black men, especially older gentlemen, think it's okay to sleep with someone that's 15 years old or 8-year-old. What the fuck you doing touching an 8-year-old? They have no chest. They have no nothing. They can't offer you nothing. Why don't you talk to a woman your age? You know why? Because You know why they don't do it? Because that's too much like the right thing. We got too much of this shit going on. Too much. Don't you know, not too long ago, they have a program going on for the men that are incarcerated dealing with sexual abuse. You know how many men go to fucking penitentiary or different state prisons and get raped? Do you know how many? Do you know when you look at some of these female correctional institutions, how many female inmates are being sexually assaulted by staff members and correctional officers? Do you know that? No, you don't know. And some of you don't give a fuck. It is what it is. Corey, thank you for coming in. Anyone that's watching this video right now, thank you for coming in. Corey, me and you had this discussion a few weeks ago about the secrets that's going on in the state of South Carolina. We had this conversation not too long ago, and everything that we shared amongst each other in that one video is true. It's true. It's a lot of demon action going on in these streets. But people say, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Yes, there is something you can do about it. You can arm yourself with knowing who these sexual offenders are. That's number one. Number two, you have to be aware of where you're going. I don't care if you're walking out of your house 4:30 in the morning. You have the right to know that you are safe. A lot of women don't feel safe. A lot of women in this area don't even work jobs. They too afraid. Some of them are on the Social Security disability. And you know what? Now when I think about it, when I look at it, I don't even blame them. It's too much problems. Go out in the middle of the day to the store. Go to the middle of the day to the bank. Go in the middle of the day to go visit your people. When that sun start falling down, get your black ass in your goddamn house and you lock that door and you stay your ass in that goddamn house. Don't you leave unless you're doing a nighttime job. And even then, you better be aware of what you're doing. Yes, I know, Corey. I know. Thank you for coming in. And thank you, everyone that came in and watched this video. Listen to my voice. You could have been anywhere else. You decided to come in and spend time with me. And I totally appreciate you. I love you. I'm not going to stay up here too long. I'm not going to tarry too long. I'm getting ready to close out this video. Just because I'm closing out the video does not mean I'm closing my eyes to what's going on, especially for these young women that are leaving from these northern states and coming to the South. They think they coming down here to get a better life. A lot of them ain't interested in finding no man. A lot of them ain't interested in having any kids. A lot of them are only interested in getting some money in their pocket and in their bank account and keep themselves in a home. If they decide they want to date or, start seeing people, that's fine. I have nothing against that. Nothing against it at all. A lot of women just want to come down here and find peace of mind. They're getting tired of the city life. They're getting tired of the fast life. So they come down here to get a peace of mind, get a job, get a little apartment somewhere, save up some money, and just enjoy their lives. And half of them can hardly do that. A lot of women didn't even make it. Like I said, a lot of my homegirls that used to float with me in them streets is dead. A lot of them. And if they ain't dead, there's one that ain't dead. She strung out on that meth. She strung up on that meth. She had beautiful teeth. Now her teeth is all black and falling out. She don't even look the same anymore. I look at her, I don't even recognize her. I used to be able to recognize her. I don't recognize her anymore. This woman is, I got her, look, I'm 50. I'm 50 years old. This woman is in her 30s. Don't you know this woman look older than me? And it's a crying shame. It's a crying shame. And this woman, she didn't start getting arrested until she started using them hard drugs. That's when she started getting arrested. That's when now she got a criminal history. And she the only one out of the whole group that did not have a criminal history. But now that she's out there in them damn streets, now she got a criminal history. I don't know how many times she got beat up. I don't know how many times she got raped. I got raped twice out there. Twice. So I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah. It happens mostly to the women that coming from New York and New Jersey, Detroit, Michigan, Chicago, the New Orleans women. When they come to South Carolina, they're being attacked. This is not no coincidence. And a lot of times, a lot of those men from the South will hear your accent, your northern accent, and say to themselves, I'm going to conquer that woman. I'm going to possess that woman. A lot of men that smile in my face, I already know to stay away from. I don't fuck with men like that. I have no reason to. I got one man I do talk to. I'm getting tired of him. And I've been on him almost 7 years now. Now, if I'm getting tired of him, what that telling you? It is what it is. Yep. Well, thank you for coming in, Corey. I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate the ghost watchers that's watching. And everyone is welcome over here. I'm getting ready to close out this video. And that's all I have to say. This is your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa, 914 Westchester County, New York. We are in the house and we are closing out this video. Thank you for coming over and visiting with me. I love you. I appreciate you. And I thank you so much. Peace out. Good night. I will see you in the next video. Peace.